SEIU, the Service Employees International Union, spent $2.5 million to employ people to go get a job at Starbucks under false pretenses and basically agitate for union organizing.
Starbucks employees are having buyer's remorse over their decision to unionize. A worker in Starbucks in Manhattan filed a petition to vote on whether to remove the union they formed just last year. The National Labor Relations Board has the petition, which does pave the way for the employees to set up a secret ballot to see if the majority of workers would be in favor of this. The National Right to Work Committee is taking up their case. For more on this and expanding the conversation, let's bring in the president of the National Right to Work Committee, Mark Mix. We also have a partner for Steinhauser Strategies, Randon Steinhauser. Welcome to you both. Mark, where does this case stand, and what grievances did they have for the sudden buyer's remorse here for their union?
Yeah, Chris, well, look, thanks about taking on this story. It's a big one, and it's not a surprise to us that workers at Starbucks, after they see what the union officials are doing now that they're, quote, in the union and extracting money from their paycheck and basically saying they're the single voice in the workplace and other issues that go along with monopoly forced unionism, workers are starting to see that and saying, hey, how do we get out? We're helping some employees at a rotisserie in Chelsea in Manhattan when they decided they wanted nothing to do with the union. They're trying to throw them out. But Chris, this is a really bigger story because when you look at it, we just found out that the SEIU, the Service Employees International Union, spent $2.5 million to employ people to go get a job at Starbucks under false pretenses and basically agitate for union organizing. Now that those workers have moved on, the workers that are left at the places that were working there are saying, what the heck did we do? Can we get out? The National Labor Relations Board, the National Labor Relations Board just filed a brief. We're filing a brief in about a week about a show cause on whether or not the election will go forward. We're obviously saying we want it to, but the board may step in and stop the election.
I've got more on that here in a second, but Randon, let's expand the conversation. Unions, despite their noble beginnings, have led to the destruction of many businesses and government agencies, too. Their work in GovEd is particularly crippling, no?
Absolutely. I was just going to make the same point. You know, the workers' conditions in Starbucks must just be terrible that they have to unionize. And we're seeing the same thing happening in government education. We have teachers who believe that the unions are going to look out for their best interests and oftentimes have buyer's remorse. We realize, right, that at the end of the day, we believe that individuals should be in charge of their future, not big government, not big labor. And so, you know, this is just a trend where we're seeing individuals saying this labor union is not looking out for my best interest. And we certainly see that as it relates to public educators.
Yeah, Mark, I wanted to you were making allusion to this, a stunning revelation coming out about the case you're working on. The New York Post is reporting that one of the leaders behind the union effort, Michelle Eisen, actually was getting paid by the union organization, which goes against what she told Congress. Eisen told Congress she was not getting paid, but records show she got nearly 50 grand from the group. How do you see this revelation helping the case? And since when is lying to Congress legal?
Well, Chris, I don't think it ever has been. The question is, what will Republicans do about it? The fact that the person they asked the witness asked questions, misrepresented herself, and she was an agent of the SEIU. And this is not something that's out of the ordinary, Chris. This is called salting. And the unions, if you look at The Nation magazine this week, you'll see that they're calling all progressive students to come to the South and get jobs. The union will pay them to work for the union, but their job is to get a job under false pretenses, go into the workplace and agitate for unionization, and then probably leave after they're done, like this witness did. I mean, there was another one in Buffalo, too, at the original Starbucks, the first place where the union was voted in. Both these employees were there, and they were both being paid by the union. They were being paid by Starbucks, too, as employees, but they were being paid by the union to salt the place and set the tone for unionization.
Wow. Well, Randon, and there's another way the unions, these bosses, are taking the power away from people who are, well, either are their members and also the people that these unions employees are supposed to be serving. North Carolina Governor Roy Cooper declaring a state of emergency, his words, not really official, ahead of the state House Republicans passing school choice initiatives. Cooper says that all Republicans want to do is give the wealthy these vouchers for private tuition, despite the fact these vouchers are designed to help lower income people get a better education. Isn't Cooper beholden to union bosses over the education of children and his constituents?
Absolutely. Look, Roy Cooper is saying choice for me, but not for thee. He sent his own children to private school. So congratulations, Governor, on having that privilege. But guess what? Other parents, especially low-income, single-family households, deserve that same freedom to find the educational institution that works best for their children. So the hypocrisy is gross. And if this is a declaration of emergency, then I would like to know why he's calling this a setback of a generation when it was the teachers' unions who fought to keep schools closed and prevented children from learning. That massive learning loss was not at the hands of parents who wanted a better education. It was at the hands of teachers, unions, and their bosses.
What were North Carolinians thinking with his election? Mark Mix and Randon Steinhauser, thank you very much. Appreciate this time.